name is Dr. Mwangi Kashamba, and I'm from Murang'a County, and particularly Kandara Division, and I'm an agronomist. But this kind of an agronomist is the one who is specializing on organic foods and organic farming. So basically what I do is I would like to change the style we've been farming with before and change the original style of farming, which used to be done by our forefathers in the early 50s and before then. So what we are trying to say here is we made up of what we eat. So we've noted and we've learned that the foods and the vegetables we are eating today are actually, besides not being unfriendly to our health, they are also oxidants to the same body. So we are oxidizing this body to the sense that these vegetables are doing more harm than good. They could be doing some good of maybe 60%, but then harming you another 40%. That's not the same. That's not supposed to be the case. So we would like to eat foods that are purely beneficial to us. So today, a farmer sprays insecticide on this because they are trying to control small things like aphids and other small issues like small pests which may naturally occur, not realizing it's not the vegetable that has an issue. The issue comes from the soil. So you are made up of what you eat. So this soil is what we are feeding the vegetable with. So if we don't take care of the soil properly, then our vegetable will not also be catered for properly. It will have to take from what is actually coming from the same soil. So this soil, we find that today, if you use just goat's manure, because that's what I specialize on here. I use goat's manure, I use cow manure, I use plants manure, I biodegradable manure from plants, from goats waste, and from the cow waste. So we break them down, and once we break them down, we ensure that we also remove issues like salmonella in the cow's manure, because today our farmer has decided to give the cows meat, that is protein coming from animals, which is not supposed to be the right thing. So they are feeding our cows with what we call issues like fish meal, blood meal. Those are not good things to feed our cows with, because that's not the natural way God decided it to be. They are not supposed to take those issues. You know, the salmonella is naturally occurring in fish. So when the cow also takes the same, it will take with the salmonella together. So when it excretes the same as waste, then what do you expect to be on the dung? You expect to find a lot of salmonella. Same salmonella will be taken in through the plant diffusion. So it will go into the main plant, and it will be actually destination to the leaves. So what we are trying to say here is we need to be very careful on what we are feeding, and that's why we have lots of diseases in this world. So the diseases are increasing every day because we are actually messing up with our environment. And if you look at what we actually here feed with, here tunatumia tu peke yake. We only use mbolea, animal manure and plant manure. And we know how to remove the salmonella. We use microorganisms which are in the category of beneficial to destroy the salmonella. And this is done nicely and professionally. I think when we go to the next part of the factory, you will see how we do it. So here you can see what we are trying to give the mwananchi is vegetables and leaves. That whatever you see here is medicinal, purely medicinal to the mankind. So what we are trying to say is all foods that God created for us are mainly medicinal. And if you say, why do we say foods that heal? Because they do heal. It's only that we are not taking interest to learn how they heal. So I think the next part we should go and say, first and foremost, what do we need to see in these plants? You can see now, these plants are completely healthy. There are no diseases here. And yet, we do not use any sprayers. We don't spray any chemicals here. We don't spray nothing. The plants are able to nani by themselves, to fight diseases on their own. And that's the way God intended the whole thing to be. So this is the way we would like Kenyans to go. That's the way Kenyans would like to go. So when we look at such leaves here, these are very nice for controlling blood pressure. We make nice tea out of this. This is mulberry leaves. So you can see they just grow here nicely without any chemicals. So you just use about 5 of them. You crush them and you make a cup of tea. And your pressure goes down. Organic farming is basically farming foods without free radicals or free oxidants. You know, we have, you see, these are foods. When we put fertilizers, we normally say the root cause of all the diseases is this process we call oxidation. It's oxidation process. So if you would like again to run away from the diseases, we need to simply go the opposite of that. So we need to give our plants antioxidants. But when we are feeding our plants with oxidants, fertilizers, if you put them in your body, surely directly, what will happen to you? You surely be oxidized and eventually die. When we give the plant waste coming from the goats and the cows, then we are feeding our plant with antioxidants. And those antioxidants are what we now clearly talk about organic, because they are natural. I think this is my 32 years I've been in organic, and I can tell you I'm a master of this game. I can tell you I'm a master of this game. For 32 years I have never farmed using any chemical. 32 years. No chemical at all. Including even treatment of my cows, in treatment of my children, treating of my own self. Here we all use foods. We only use foods and foods only. We know how to make, if it's a pest, we know how to eradicate the pest. We have our formulas, right? So we know, and we will show you if you want. We'll show you how to make the pesticides. We are not mean with our knowledge, by the way. But we would not like this knowledge to be used by the Western world. We would like this to be, shared, by our African origins. In fact, you make more money. I want to give you an assurance. If we say, for instance, we want to farm tomatoes, I will give you 3 times the crop, better yield than you who is using the conventional chemicals. I'll give you 3 times the backup. I'll give you 3 times more tomatoes. The same acreage. If it's tomatoes, I mean it's potatoes, for instance. You know waru? Yes. You know waru is the common name in our language. I can tell you, last time I farmed potatoes, I did about 330 bags per acre. You can never get that using the conventional chemicals. You can't. Not even anywhere close. Let's look at something like maize. I got, the highest yield I have done is 84 bags per acre, thrashed. I used to do that in Zubukia, right? Even that farm still stands even today. Even the former president, Moi, he used to visit my place in Nakuru. Nilikuwa nasema hiyo kijana, mimi nasemanga mimi kulima namba moja, lakini kijana anashindanga mimi, which is true. I used to, and carry people used to come there with him. And let me say, you cannot never compare organic farming with a conventional farming. It's not comparable. Whether it's wheat or whatever it is, it beats everything. I learned that our people are just getting sick every day. And I realized we can be able to eradicate that by simply eating well, by prevention measure. Once you eat organic foods, you're sure the diseases will go. That's for sure. There is no doubt about that. You eat organic foods, there will be no diseases on this planet. That is for sure. So it all depends on the nation, on the country's policy. If in Kenya, if we want to support the inorganic farming, then surely you know who we are trying to support. We are trying to support the developing nations. We're supporting our own selves. Let's be very careful here. Let's do what is going to help us ourselves as Africans. Right? If we go organic, we are supporting Kenya. If we go inorganic, we are supporting developed nations, and they already have enough money. Here, our Kenyans are crying. Today, even if you try to farm using the inorganic way, it's just all cry. That is why they are not able, because it is not economical. If I ask you, okay, you are producing maybe, okay, from 1 acre, you produce 20 bags of potatoes. Sure, is it economical? It cannot be. But if I tell you the same 1 acre will produce 300 bags, surely then there is money in it. And there is no two way about it. So this is the issue of government policy. Let them come up clear on that. Let them now start training farmers in doing it in the natural way and eradicate diseases, and we eradicate poverty. Here we do everything. I think you have seen even the poultry. Start even from poultry, cuckoo, chicken. You can hear them cry. They are happy. They are telling you, every day, those are the chicken kienyeji kuku. And, I can tell you something very interesting. That there you will find one of the chicken which is about 17 years old. I've been carrying out research on the same. So, which means our poultry can continue living longer. They will have the longevity. Cows, I have cows on the other side, you noted. And the cows are, I have cows there as old as 18 years old also. And they're doing well, they are producing enough good milk. So it's the way you're feeding yourself. You also do the same, including yourself. You want to live long, eat healthy, eat organic foods.
What do you feed the poultry with?
Natural grass, natural vegetables like this, and maize. And they are doing very well. They give us, maize every day, eggs. In fact, we all eat together with all our workforce here. They are not even able to finish. I give them free eggs. I give them free milk. Yeah. Even free lunch. I hope they already given you some lunch. Maybe you came after lunch, and I can tell you all those you can see, the ones with the green kabutis. They tell you, those are the people in the farm. When you look at the blue, those are on the animals. When you look at the white, those are doing the food department. So everybody here is classified in their own areas. And the whole idea is to make things work.